Well, you know what today is? Crash the Titans.
Uh, Whenever you watch this here,
Yeah, we also got a brand new character in the pipeline, an alligator Loki. Okay, so I hope that well, I know he doesn't have he couldn't have the Pet Avengers thing because, well, anyway, tangents. We're over the Crash of the Titans. And this one here is a brand new Crash because we haven't really used Lizard in the Crash, and we haven't seen Namor as an opponent of anyone's in the Crash, so this is kind of cool. Though I think Namor and Black Panther and several other people, again, tangents. Namor, black, green, purple user, black ability, cost 11. He does. Oh my goodness! And I refresh. I looked at his abilities before I hopped on, just to get myself refreshed on them, and I just forgot that quickly. Oh my goodness! I know that his green ability is Imperious Rex, and I know his purple ability, Atlantis Attacks, does damage with blue. I know that one does damage with blue. So let's work our way up with the abilities that I do know, and then refresh myself on Namor's Mercy. Alright, Atlantis Attacks. This costs 9 purple, converts some number of basic tiles to blue, and if there are 10 or more blue tiles, it'll do team damage. Alright, as you can see there. Alright, Imperatus Rex. No, I'm not gonna say it with with emphasis. But Imperatus Rex costs 11. It does damage based on the number of blue tiles that you have on the board. It'll do relatively low amount of damage, and then it'll destroy some number of random tiles on the board when it wow. Oh, I'm trying to, excuse me, get this here worded out to where it makes sense to you guys. So, like I said, it destroys tiles on the board, but the destroyed tiles are like in the shape of a triangle, so it'll be a U shape and a straight line going down the middle, as you can see there. And like I said, it costs 12. And then since we know it's at level 5, it's gonna do a little bit more damage. Okay. And then Namor's Mercy. I know this one here costs 11. It does does targeted damage, destroys 4 AP, and our strongest color, and then we gain 1 black AP. It'd be kind of funny if our strongest color was black and then gained black. That'd be just kind of funny. But anyway, we know we got to use Lizard today, so his strongest color is green. Ignore the fact that I got boost. Well, the only boost I'm gonna be using is team up boost and red boost, because again, he doesn't have red, doesn't have yellow, and he can't use team ups. Alright, so Lizard was just released quite a few months ago. I'd say no.
like the early part of the year. Well, time has been flying by in the current public health thing, but I digress. Ectothermic disability has like a couple of stages to it. All right, so it's pretty cheap, costs 7. It does it does team damage, and then it has two caveats. If there are 11 or fewer blue tiles on the board, you do extra damage to a random enemy. If there's fewer than 7 red tiles on the board, then you deal extra damage to a random enemy. And then, you know, it's got different thresholds. Alright, so I'll explain. You can actually meet both of the conditions of the having the 11 or fewer blue tiles on the board and red, and it hit, you know, random enemies. But well, for the purpose of this fight here, we know it's going to do at minimum 2142 damage. So that's all we need to know. All you need to know. The the basics, the extra stuff are just like extra pieces of candy that we get because we're good. All right. Tail whip. This is 7 AP. Another cheap ability. It's an active and a passive. The active portion, it's a single target stun for 1 turn, and it does damage. Alright. The passive component, if Lizard takes whatever the threshold is it whoa, whatever the threshold damage is, the damage is reduced by a certain amount. Again, whatever it may be. Then you create a 2 turn countdown tile that that true heals Lizard each turn, and while the countdown tile is on the board, you won't be able to activate the active portion of Tail Whip, so you won't be able to stun anybody. Which again, it makes sense because Lizard's regenerating a lost limb. How are you gonna try and regenerate a lost limb and attack somebody at the same time? You know. And then Archon-Plex is another one of those cool abilities. Low cost at 7. Create some number of basic, well, convert some number of basic tiles to 1 turn repeater tiles. And at the start of each turn, the repeater tiles go up the board, swapping swapping on the board, and then also converting any of the swap blue tiles to red. That's a portion that a lot of people, including myself, we tend to forget. And then when it reaches the top of the board, it removes itself, the fortification, and it deals damage to the target. And then for each one of the repeater tiles that's on the board, Blizzard takes 6% less damage. So while the kit itself is relatively straightforward, it's just little bitty things that Lizard does to make things a little bit complicated. Alright, main thing that you want to do if you're lower level Lizard,
avoid Namor's black at all costs. How much is it doing here? Yeah, avoid Namor's black at all costs. Imperatus Rex, just make sure that there's fewer blue tiles on the board. And then Atlantis attacks, again, make sure that there's fewer than 10 blue tiles on the board by the time he does it. Or I should say, make sure that the board itself is devoid of blue, because that actually helps out us with ectothermic. Also, to the main thing we want to do, gotta chase after green and black, obviously, and purple. So pretty much deny Namor all of his colors. It's like if there are blue matches on the board, you know, you want to keep the board with as few blue tiles on the board as you can, so that whenever you activate one of what's the name's abilities, lizards, you can actually get a little bit of the extra damage, which that's what we're gonna do here. So we did the 2142, and then we got the extra damage as well. Now we're gonna actually leave the blue tiles on the board for the time being, and we're gonna focus really on making quality matches. Again, I could go here, but I don't want to leave the possibility of purple for Namor. We'll go down this way, because it's going to be impossible for him to make a match with purple going that way. Deny is black. Green's fine. If I go this way, that'll drop the purple down, which that's what we'll do. You'll get a cascade. Gotta deny this purple here, so let's activate our complex. Let's get some damage mitigation on the board. Again, gotta deny black. This will give us an ability to stun, and hopefully we can, you know, get rid of some of these blue tiles that's on the board, but I highly doubt that. I'm gonna have to make this green match. Nah, I'll make the black match. And I know that's gonna put one of the Arc Complex tiles down. It gives them an opportunity for green as well. There's Tail Whip. Alright, well, at least we can reduce the amount of damage Imperatus Rex does. Tail Whip will kick in. We'll heal. We'll hit him with endothermic, and I think that actually will be enough to knock Namor out of the fight, because we actually meet the threshold. Oh no! Oh, it's because I had exactly 7 red. Drat. Oh well, let's reduce this damage even more. Let's see here. Well, the damage will be reduced a little bit, and as much as I don't want to leave the critical tile on the board, this is probably... Nah. Yeah, that's probably the better match. Namor's Mercy, this will hurt. But again, those cascades. We'll use his black for another stun. Get those endothermic, R complex tiles out. There's a stun, and the next turn, yeah, he's donezo.
I was a little bit of a scarier fight than
I hoped that it would be, but job's finished. Alright, and as per usual, we'll take a look at old Doc Connors and not necessarily strategize as to who his best teammates are, but how to utilize him on a team. If I can ever find old Doc, there he is, 282. So I've had mine championed for a few months now, and all in all, I actually do like all the abilities that he does. The problem is when you have characters that use strike tiles, that use protect tiles, that can multiply both strike tiles and protect tiles, and multiply attack. Multiply stuff on the board, like Medusa with her attack tile, with the with a countdown tile, or board swappage, or whatever the case might be. Someone like Lizard, he's going to be not as sought after. If Lizard was released, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, he probably would have seen a lot of play simply because of how cheap his abilities are, and what he does, and how annoying he could be. But as it stands now, like, he's too slow for PvP. Doesn't do enough to move the needle in PvE that someone like Scorpion, does in his cases. Like, if anything, speed wise in PvE, Lizard needs help, so to speak, to get him started. But independent of everything, Lizard actually is a solid character. Even though my showing of Crash of the Titans, yeah. So again, green ability, pretty solid. Does team damage, again, relative to his power level and scaling. It's decent. Well, I said it was solid, and then how I'm gonna say it's decent, that's contradictory. It's a solid ability. It's just that the two conditions that you have to meet to make it into what I would consider a not game breaking ability, but a very useful ability that you can consistently rely upon. Those two conditions there make it a little bit. Again, I'm not gonna say
underwhelming. I'll just say it's whelming. Shout out to everybody that watches Young Justice. You'll, if you know, you know. Now, if you can, meet those conditions from is like having the fewer than 11, and then you know at least 7 red tiles on the board. You can do some reliable damage, not necessarily each turn, but you can do some pretty reliable damage with his green. Again, if conditions are met. If conditions aren't met, you're just doing flat damage, and there's characters in 4-star land that can do better things with their green abilities. But again, as it stands, again, Lizard has a use. It's not a good use. It's not a bad use. It's just a use. And sometimes, just existing, you know, you do have additional options. His black ability, I pretty much leave this here at 3 because, well, I mean, if you've seen any of my videos, you know how much I like stuns. I really do like stuns. Yes, ma'am. Oh, after these messages, we'll be right back. How can we miss you, man, if you don't go away? Oh, one Saturday morning, or I should say one Tuesday afternoon, continues on YouTube. Anyway, so to continue my train of thought, you guys know how much I love stuns. I love true healing. I just see it like this here. It's like Lizard's other abilities are just. I'm not saying that they are over the top better than than the other abilities. Like again, I'm just looking at this here and just a 4-star vacuum. Like in 5-star land, yeah, I'd put tail whip at 5 because you know there's other abilities that are just way too good. There's two other green abilities and other purple abilities that are just way too good, whether passively or actively. But anyway, in 4-star land, I would keep this here as a 1-turn stun, simply because again there are a lot of good options in 4-star land uh, with black, like Vulture. Like, like would you would you stun a turn? If you had Vulture and Lizard on the same team, would you send Vulture airborne for 2 turns so that you can generate the necessary AP to keep Vulture airborne, or would you stun a target for however many turns that you have your black set up for? Me, generate that AP. Again, the passive component, the receiving the damage. Again, once you get the purple tiles from our complex out, it's going to be a little bit harder to get to get to those levels where you can reliably and consistently um, get the max damage, or I should say the both the damage threshold, the reduction, and then the heal. So an example that I'll give you, well, as you know, looking at the like I said, 6% less damage. Again, if you got at least 4 of those tiles on the board, so that's at minimum 24, you know, 24% less damage that lizard would take. So if you were hit by, I'm trying to think here, like if you were hit with something like, I gotta find an ability that that's a pretty or any low risk ability or a low powered ability that would uh that would damage a lizard. Like if you like if it does 1648 and you have those R complex tiles on the board, that's going to be around 1500 damage roughly. Again, if I'm not going to do the exact math, but I'm in the ballpark. Is in terms of damage reduction. It might be close to 1400 damage if I'm it's like if I'm gonna get really meticulous about it, but but what I'm trying to say is the the damage reduction um from R complex will far outweigh you reliably and consistently getting Tail Whip's second ability to activate. That's the point that I'm trying to get. So again, looking at it in the vacuum, and thinking about the people that you could pair Lizard up with, especially with his black ability. Keep this here at 3. Again, better black abilities in 5-star land, both passively and actively. Like even Moon Knight's black is reliably better than Tail Whip actively. Okay, a 1-turn stun that does a low amount of damage, or you know, you punch somebody in the face for 9, 10,000, and then if that that happens to be enough to down the opponent, Moon Knight will true heal. So again, you have to think about those things there in the game. I know it's a simple mastery game, but there's a lot more complexities to it than just making sure you made the right match and making sure your teams are set up properly and all that stuff. Anyway, our complex. This one here is another one of those 7 AP moves. I'm actually glad that all of Blizzard's moves are 7. They mainly because again, where the game is at now, um, any moves that cost more than well more than 8 or 9 AP, for most of the community that's considered very high cost, especially if you're not self accelerating like Iron Man 40 or Vulture or 50% Thor, or whatever the case might be. Anyway,
Um, got repeater tiles on the board. If it ever gets up to the board, if it ever gets up to the board, I mean, ever gets up to the top of the board, uh, one tile will do 5,000 5,000 damage, well, almost 6,000 damage in this case here, and that's taking into account also um, any characters that happen to want fortified tiles. Like if you rolling with if you're using someone like a Shuri, or you're using someone like the newly released Odin or whatever, that want repeater tiles on, I mean that want fortified tiles on the board. Well, you can match away your fortified repeater tiles to do either damage or whatever abilities that you need to have on the board. And plus two, at the start of each turn, when they do their little swap, they'll get refortified. Again, also having the reduction of damage for Lizard, is always something that's beneficial. I just keep this here at 5 again because I like moves that tend to do a lot of damage, and again, damage reduction is always a good thing because I'm trying not to use as many health packs as possible, unless I really need to. Now, as far as people to pair Lizard up with, well, you got a variety of people that you can go with. Alright, like I said, I mentioned Shuri. Where is she at? I know she's like in the 330s or something like that there. Again, Shuri with her vibranium tech, she's a character that obviously wants fortified tiles on the board. Lizard for 7 purple can get some of her fortified tiles on the board, and once that happens, you already start the process of affecting the game state. Now again, against characters like Polaris and Rocket and Groot and all that, they're bringing in a Lizard to face off against them, you've pretty much already lost the fight. But against your standard enemies, you probably will stand a chance. Like you pair the vibranium tag, twin blasters. You got the option of uh, of a stun, or you got the option of doing team damage with the Lizard, so you got a little flexibility there. And then Vibranium Virtuoso, again, creating some number of fortified tiles. She actively wants red. Lizard doesn't want red on the board. There's a little synergy right there. Then you fire off her red. Again, the tiles get fortified. So you got, again, like you got a little synergy there, but I mean it's not enough to, again, move the needle because you need a third. The third, I guess, if I were to pair Shuri and the Lizard together, I want somebody that can help Lizard get either more purple or get more green on the board. So I guess I would pair him. Nah, I mean you could go the Mysterio route, but again, I mean, you know what? Actually, Mysterio actually wouldn't actually be a bad partner for for Lizard. I Cause think about it. Again, I wouldn't pair Lizard, Shuri, and Mysterio together as a team. No, 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 no. But Mysterio and Lizard could actually pair well together. Lizard Lizard doesn't want blue on the board. Mysterio wants blue for his stun. Mysterio can actually, create purple with his yellow ability. It's like even if Lizard takes damage from Mysterio's the pledge, you know, you have a way to heal that off. It's like if you take team damage or whatever the case might be. Um, Again, I probably wouldn't use Mysterios from thin air simply because you want the damage mitigation for Lizard, and plus two, you don't want blue tiles on the board for Lizard. So that's the thing. Again, I mentioned my good friend Vulture. Well, I mean, Vulture fits in. Vulture fits in with anybody. Um, Black ability gives you AP for Lizard's green. Um, and then if you want to fire off Vulture's green, if you're going airborne, that's a thing too. You get a little bit more. You get a little bit more consistent team damage, reliable team damage. In the case with Vulture, Lizard, you can get that instant gratification. Not necessarily instant gratification, but you can get solid team damage, or you can get a little bit unreliable team damage. Again, if you have the particular blues on the board or reds or whatever the case might be. And again, Vulture, Vulture, Vulture wants blue, but at the same time too, I mean, he doesn't help with the fortification thing, so you know that might that might be something to keep in mind. Um, Let me think here. Would I run Luke? I mean, you could run Luke Cage and well, no, because you actually Luke Cage doesn't really do anything with Lizard because he doesn't really make any special tiles. Lizard doesn't at least, so that's a poor choice. Again, wouldn't want to run Blade with him because Blade wants red on the board, but at the same time you also too want to chase red to get his bloodlust started if you wanted to. Amadeus Cho. Yep. Cho's actually a good choice. Cho Cho wants Cho can help you generate the green that you need. Um Again, blue, he wants blue so you can punch folks in the face a little bit better. And again, you got a little bit more of an option there. Again, you can convert chart, convert blue basic tiles or green basic tiles to green charge tiles, which helps accelerate you a little bit more. So again, that's an option. Red Hulk, not so much, because again, Red Hulk's purple is objectively better than Lizard's purple.
hey, give me all of your green AP. Even if you don't have green AP, give it to me so I can use it to smash folks in the face. I'm trying to think here, can any of the other members of the Sinister Six function together with Lizard? Probably not. Simply because, you know, like Scorpion. Scorpion and Lizard, those two there will conflict with one another. Again, Scorpion's purple is pretty good with the Lizard. It's like, okay, I gotta wait. I gotta wait some number of turns, or I gotta wait for a board shake to eventually get to the damage. So again, I wouldn't pair these two here together. The same with Morbius. Morbius is purple. You know, hey, I get to destroy uh, your permanent health anytime that you match with one of the my protect tiles or whatever the case might be. You know, Misty Knight might actually be a decent option because again, she wants blue. Her blue is pretty cheap. Again, green. You know, well, considering the fact that oh my goodness, that Lizard can consistently refortify his tiles. uh, you know, that's an option there. Punch him in the, get your fortified tiles on the board, punch him in the face. Then when refortification happens, there you go. Um, and then and then with her yellow ability, if a fortified tile happens to be matched, you get a burst of healing for Lizard, and there you go. So there's an option there. That's literally thinking outside the box. Um, you know, I wasn't leaning to Dark Beast, but I'm like, no, that might be a little bit out the box there. Um, 3-star options for Lizard. I know this video here has been going on for a little bit longer. It might be an hour-long video because of the number of people you could pair Lizard up with. Here in 3-star land, again, if you got Iron Man 40, is that he generates green like clockwork. Again, while his green generation isn't as good as Vulture's, it's good enough to get the job done. And plus two, you want red and blue, so you can help out Lizard to do more damage. So that's a thing. Scarlet Witch, she's obviously a reliable choice with her purple. And then, again, you would want to have a character that has a solid board shake on a color that Lizard that's probably not on purple. So Doc Ock, you could pair Doc Ock 3-star with 4-star Lizard. Use his blue manipulation to wrap some number of tiles up on the board, up towards the top. So again, that's a reliable option. In terms of 5 stars, Again, as per usual, 5-star Thor. He drained green, he drained red off the board. So there's a reliable option there to keep red off the board. Um, Let me see here. I wouldn't necessarily press Scarlet Witch because she really, you know, her and Lizard together. I don't think that would actually be a good proposition. Mainly because, well, she'll be doing most, if not all, of the work, and Lizard would just be there in the background, be like, "Can I help? Can I help? Can I help? Hey Wanda, can I help? Please, Wanda, can I help? Can I help, please? Wanda, can I do something here?" It's like no. Again, Okoye, once she does the heavy lifting as far as getting the team of tiles on the board, Lizard will stand a chance, and then plus two, while her black is a passive ability, you know, you can you can have those one turn stuns that do, like 7,000-8,000 damage. So, that'll be a thing. Um Colossus for damage mitigation, well, even more damage mitigation. Apocalypse, again, if you, especially with the red. Blue not so much, but Apocalypse loves red, gobbles red up. He needs as much red as he possibly can to smash people in the face. Pair that up with the yellow, boom, there you go. And then Apocalypse's black is objectively better than Lizard's black. I say both either destroying the projectiles or creating projectiles and giving you some amount of healing. Um, you probably could even go with Jessica Jones too, because she wants some amount of blue to see what trap tiles are on the board, and then you gain AP. Then she also wants red, and again her black. Again, if you have some number of strike tiles on the board or special tiles on the board, I think it's just strike tiles, right? No, it's friendly special tiles. So yeah, so Lizard happens to have any of his uh repeater tiles on the board, boom, there you go. There's some damage there. Um, mm, I think that might be it as far as reliable partners. I mean, no, you just do something but countdown tiles. There needs to be a character in Marvel Puzzle Quest that can reliably make repeater tiles reach zero, so that you can increase the damage or whatever abilities that they have. Uh, no, I wouldn't even pair Craven up with Lizard, because again, Craven special tile Punisher, or I should say attack, protect, and strike tile Punisher, and Lizard doesn't do anything with special tile, so that's kind of a waste there. Same with X-23 and Jane Foster Thor, though. No, 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 no. In good conscience, I wouldn't reliably pair either one of them up with Lizard, though Lizard's purple might be objectively better than her purple, mainly because her purple, to get it to be a reliable purple, you need a minimum of 6 strike tiles on the board, and the ways to reliably get strike tiles on the board and then have enough purple to do it. I mean, you could do it with Polaris and Rocket, but again, Polaris and Rocket will be doing the hard work, and X-23 just be there like, is it my turn yet? Is it my turn yet? But anyway, that'll end the video. I know I'm trying to keep it to be an hour long. It'll be less than an hour long. So we got Rogues, Crash the Titans up next, and in about 5 days, I gotta finish off Deadpool Daily. Gotta finish off my retaliations for the season. So in the interim, I think the next video will either be Rogue or the Ultimate Guide. Again, it depends on how I feel at the time. Again, as per usual, get your season mode stuff started. You know, don't let your alliance mates down. Or even for personal gain, you know, get all that stuff there done. Get your kitty pride. I mean, we'll get your Kate pride, so that you can, you know, at least compete in more PvE events, you know. And yeah, that's it for me. Stay safe, stay classy, and yeah, remember this. If something absurd happens in the Marvel movies or Marvel TV shows, chances are they might actually be a character in the game later.